Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh wa na'udzu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. May yahdihillahu fala mudhillalah wa may yudlilhu fala hadiyalah. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la syarikalah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim wa barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim fil alamin innaka Hamidum Majid. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Amma ba'. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, all praise be to Allah. We praise Him, we ask for His help, we ask for His forgiveness. We seek refuge with Allah from the weakness of ourselves and from the badness of our deeds. Whoever been given by Allah guidance, then nobody can be a misguider for him. Whoever been misguided by Allah, then nobody can be a guider for him. I bear witness there's no God worthy to be worshipped except Allah, only Him, no associate for Him. And I bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is His messenger and servant. O Allah, give good prayers upon Muhammad and the family of Muhammad. Have give good prayers upon Abraham and the family of Abraham. O Allah, bless upon Muhammad and the family of Muhammad. Have blessed upon Abraham and the family of Abraham. Verily, you are most worthy of praises and most noble. Today, I will be replacing Sheikh Hussein, Hafidhahullah, because he is actually quite busy, inshallah, to go to Hajj. This he will be going at 1 o'clock. So in Malay, there are actually a proverb. If there is not rattan, it's not there, then you can use the root of a tree. This is the root. The rattan will be going to Hajj, inshallah. I hope that whatever we will be talking today will be beneficial for me and for all of you. Surely it will not be the same, because the elders will talk wisdom with wisdom and with their experience, and we young people actually will not be the same as he is, inshallah. Ala kulli hal, we'll try, inshallah, to talk about it. Page 58. Sheikh just now told me that the next class is today. Is actually about the verse from ayah from Suratil An-Nisa, a verse, an ayah from Surah An-Nisa, that Allah Ta'ala said, or do they envy men for what Allah has given them of His bounty? Am yahsuduna an-nasa ala ma atahumullah. Do they want to be envy? This is actually because one of the reason a person becomes sad, because the book is actually about don't be sad. You can have that feeling, and surely being sad, angry, happy, for us as a human being is actually normal. Something that actually you should have. You are not an angel. The angel of Allah, they don't have that feeling. They don't have any type of feeling like envy towards others, because they don't have the word nafs. We say in Malay we say nafsu. In Arabic is called hawa, desire. Hawa. Ha, wow, alif like ya. Is the meaning is actually desire. Desire to want something, to hate something, because the angels doesn't have that type of feeling. In sense of fear towards Allah, they have, and love to whoever Allah Ta'ala love, they have, and even the love that Allah Ta'ala make them to love is actually because Allah Ta'ala told them to do that. Like the in the hadith, when the Prophet ﷺ said, Inna Allah idha ahabba shakhsan, when Allah Ta'ala love anybody of His creation, his creature, he will say to the Archangel Gabriel, I love this guy, this person, love him. So Archangel Gabriel will proclaim and say to all the angel in the heaven that Allah Ta'ala love this guy. Then all of you love him. You must love him. So from that point, we know that the love that from the angels towards the believers is actually being commanded by Allah. They themselves actually, like we said, they don't have that feeling from the start. The only feeling that Allah Ta'ala said they have is actually fear towards Allah. Fear towards Allah, that's the thing that naturally in them. But about loving the believers or hating anybody from those who doesn't believe Allah, that is actually what Allah Ta'ala command them. From that hadith, we can understand. So that is angel. But we, as a human being, to have that feeling is normal. To become angry, to become sad is normal. But the only thing is actually how do you channel your anger? How do you channel your sadness? Because the Prophet SAW once came to him a Jew. Then the Jew greet the Prophet SAW, peace be upon him, with a greeting that's actually with bad meanings. He said, Assalamu alayki. Assalamu alayki. Mean death upon you. Death upon you. And the Prophet answered by say, Wa alayki. But Aisha was with the Prophet. She heard what being said by the Jew. So she answered the Prophet, the Jew, with what you say. If you think it's actually quite normal for a person to get mad when her husband being said something bad to him. So the Prophet, the Aisha answered, Wa alaikal la'nah wal maut wasam ya abna kiratul khanazir. Upon you, laknat is a big word, and some death, and also and mouth. O children of pigs and monkey. Aisha said something like that. The Prophet quickly turned to her and said to her, Hasbuki, qad balagti. Enough. You already exceeding the what we say not to be you too much. What you say is too much. So the Aisha answered. She said, don't you listen, don't you heard what being said by him? So the Prophet answered to her, didn't you listen what I answer to him? It will be accepted by Allah, whatever we say upon them, and when will not be accepted by Allah, the prayer that they said upon us. And Allah Ta'ala doesn't like, Inna Allah la yuhibbul fuhsha wa tafahush. Allah Ta'ala doesn't like anything immoral from doing or even from saying. So only that the anger that Aisha anha had at that time is actually justified. But the way she channeled it is something that the Prophet said, enough. Because to have that feeling, sad, happy and everything, even what you say about envy here, we are taking today, is actually a normal thing to happen to a person. As a human being, it's normal. Even the Imam Ash-Shafi'i rahimahullah, Allah Ta'ala have mercy upon him, he said, Man istughdiba falam yaghdab fahuwa himar. Whoever being done to him something to make him angry, and he didn't become angry, then he is a donkey. Because among the animal kingdom, any animal, if you hurt the animal will fight back. That's if you can have a cat. Try to pinch the cat. You will see what the cat will do to you. Even chicken, you cut the chicken and do something, the chicken will kick you or peck you. In animal, except donkey. If you slap the donkey will only make a sound and will not be fighting back. That's why the Imam Ash-Shafi'i said, whoever being done to him something that he should be mad or should be angry, but he doesn't become angry, then he is actually a donkey. But like we said, to have that feeling is not wrong. But how do you channel it? Channel the feeling to be sad, to have to see somebody get more than you. It's actually to have that a little feeling that I hope that I get the thing that he get. That is actually to have that feeling to loving something like that is actually natural, normal. You cannot say that a person doesn't have any feeling, doesn't have that's actually not, that is not from what Allah Ta'ala made us. Even being said in Surah An-Nisa, Allah Ta'ala said about love, to like something. Allah Ta'ala said in Surah An-Nisa, verse number 20. Oh no, not An-Nisa. Al-Imran, verse number 14. Verse number 14, Allah Ta'ala said, Zuyina linnas hubbu shahwat, is being adorned towards to the people, beautified to the people, love, desire, having love, desire, minan nisa, towards women, wal banin, sons, wal qanatir al muqantarati min adh-dhahab wal fiddati, have some of gold and silver, wal khayl musawwamati, and fine branded horses, wal an'amul harth, cattle and tilted land. Dhalika mata'ul hayati dunya, that's actually what are the enjoyment of worldly life. Wallahu indahu husnul sawab, and Allah Ta'ala with him is actually the best place for you to return. Husnul ma'ab. So the thing is actually being created by Allah inside ourselves to have that feeling. But the problem is, how do you channel it? How do you actually taking care of your words, your action toward the feeling that you have? He said here, or do they envy men for what Allah has given them His bounty? Means that Allah Ta'ala give somebody something. Do you feel envy towards the gift that Allah Ta'ala gave them? This ayah originally talking about the people of the book, when they are waiting for the last prophet to come, they actually doesn't thought that the prophet will come from the family of Ishmael, because they are actually from the family of Israel or Ishaq, because Abraham have two sons, knownly in the Quran and the Sunnah. The first son is Ishmael, the second son is Ishaq, Isaac. From Isaac, Jacob, and all the children of Israel, because Jacob is the one that got the title Israel. From the Ishmael side, there's actually no prophet except after from Ishmael until Muhammad. Muhammad is the only prophet. From their family is so abundant. The Prophet said in the hadith mentioned by Bukhari, Kanat Banu Israel tasuhumul anbiya. The Israelites, the children of Israel, being governed by the prophets. Kullama halaka nabiyun, whenever a prophet died, abathallahu nabiyya, Allah will send another prophet, one after another. After means that from the day of Jacob until the last is actually Isa or Jesus ibn Maryam, son of Mary. That all of them, they have prophet after prophet. But suddenly they are waiting for the last prophet to become from their family. Even though if you read inside the Bible, there's being said there that the kingdom will be given to other, not for them anymore. Even being said to Moses, peace be upon him, that Allah said, I will raise up a prophet like unto you from among their brethren, not from them, from among their brethren, from the brethren of Israel. Israel's son, the Israel, Allah will raise up a prophet like unto Moses. That's actually the saying is actually to talk about not from their family. But when the prophet being being brought up from not from the family of Israel, so they cannot accept from the family of Ishmael, because they actually seeing their family is better than Ishmael, because Ishmael is the son of Hajar, and Hajar was a born woman, and their mother is actually Sarah, was a free person and from the same tribes of Abraham. So they start to use that sentiment to say that from the other side we cannot accept. That's the thing that Allah Ta'ala said about, do they have that enviness, when Allah Ta'ala give His bounty, not to them but to others. Is give Allah Ta'ala give to others. So originally that is the topic. But we as a Muslim, as believers, we have to look into that you say ayah, to also give guide to us, not only to the to scold the Israelis, but also for us to learn about it. Jealousy is a disease. Jealousy is a disease that wreak havoc not only on the mind but also on the body. Because whoever have the disease of enviness actually will not have a good life. Always thinking about how to get something. Then the problem is, sometimes if you just like to have the same thing, because your friend have a new car, you want to have a new car, it's okay. But the problem is, if you cannot get the same thing, you are hoping he lose that new car and you will be happy and smile. That is the problem. To wanting something like others is actually, it's not wrong to have that feeling, because like we said, when Mary, mother of Jesus, got food, it's not from it's not actually being understood that the food is actually from heaven, being sent down by Allah. Because they said that the fruit is not at the time. In our time, right now, we can have, not in the season of rambutan. You can still have rambutan, because they can store it in some cold storage and let it give it away or take it away, sell it away in the other season. But at that time, you cannot get fruit like that. If the fruit for winter, will be in winter only, in summer only. But at that time, when Zachariah, he went to meet Mary, because Mary is actually his wife, niece of his wife. So he is actually taking care of her. But when he found that Mary got fruits or anything, it's actually not supposed to in that time, then he know that this fruit or this food that being given to her is actually from Allah. Allah Ta'ala said in the Quran about that story. In Surah Al-Imran, verse number 37. He said that in that ayah, فَتَقَبَّلَهَا رَبُّهَا بِقَبُولٍ حَسَنٍ. Allah Ta'ala accept from the mother of Mary whatever she been promising towards Allah about giving her child to be the servant of that temple, the place of worship for the Israelites. So Allah Ta'ala accept. And biqabulin hasanin wa ambataha nabatan hasana, and Allah Ta'ala brought her up with a good bringing, means that she become she actually being brought up nicely. Wakaffalaha Zakaria, and Zakaria was the one who taking care of her. Kullama dakhala alaiha Zakaria al-mihrab. Every time Zakaria enter to the mihrab to look after his niece, the niece of his wife, wajada indaha rizqa. He will always find with her, this is actually food. He didn't send it, but the food is already there. Qala, he said, Ya Maryam, O Mary, Anna laki hadha, from where did you get this? Qalat hiya min indillah. Mary said, is from Allah. Inna Allah yarzuqu man yasha bi ghairi hisab. Verily Allah, indeed Allah, will give his provision to anybody he want without any count. Means that give it like that. When that thing happened, Zachariah, actually, if you compare yourself to have that enviness, she is actually just a child getting food from Allah. I ain't gonna get that thing. This spark something inside your heart. But the problem is, Zachariah, he understood it not like we understood that the happening. He understand that if Allah can give her, then Allah can give him. So immediately in the ayah after that, verse number 38, Allah said, Hunalika da'a Zakaria rabbah. There, Zachariah prayed to his God. To his God. Qala rabbi habli min ladunka dhurriyatan tayyibah. Oh God, give me from you, from your side, a good offspring. When he asked for offspring, because it's actually he is being given a child as old age, not young anymore. But when he saw Maryam get, the understanding in his mind is actually, if Allah Ta'ala can give her, Allah Ta'ala can give me. This is something that a person that doesn't want to have enviness toward others have to take care about. Because Allah Ta'ala is giving everybody. If you see somebody get any goodness from Allah, you should think about that Allah Ta'ala, if Allah Ta'ala can give him, he can give you also. That's why Zachariah quickly prayed to Allah asking for offspring. If we being put in his position, I don't think that's the thing. For a normal person, you say that, why she? What not me? I'm better. I prayed to Allah for more than 10, more than 50 years. More than 50 years. But why she got the food, not me? Somebody will say something like that. But that is actually the wrong understanding about the provision of Allah. You have to understand that if Allah Ta'ala can give anybody something, He can give you also. So ask from Allah. That's why Zachariah quickly prayed towards Allah. It said that there is no repose for jealousy, for jealous one, and and he is an enemy wearing the garb of a friend. Means that there is no repose. You cannot fix anybody that is actually have jealousy. Then his enemy that wearing the garb of a friend. Means that because when you jealous towards others, you are actually like opposing what Allah Ta'ala give to others. Means that Allah Ta'ala is giving everything, the ni'mah, the blessing to everybody. You don't agree with Allah Ta'ala's gift towards others. Actually, you are enemy of the blessing. Enemy of the blessing. In doing justice to the disease of jealousy, one can say that it is least fair, for it begin with its bearer killing him first. Means that you think that the thing that the jealousy that you have will actually destroy you first than others. We start from you. Even if you can see here, because it doesn't sit here, so we can see about the iblis, the jinn that stayed with the angels in the paradise. When Allah Ta'ala created Adam, the first thing that happened to him is actually jealousy. You can see that the first sin being done in the paradise is jealous. Being said by the scholars, they said that 3 things that will destroy us from the story of Adam and Iblis. 3 things. Firstly is actually jealousy. Secondly, arrogant. Third is actually, we say, tamak. What is called tamak? Greedy. Gluttony. Gluttony. It's actually gluttony is actually more. Greed is actually something. Gluttony is actually more than that. So 3 things that actually will destroy us. If you want to be safe in this world, you have to careful about 3 things. About jealousy, about arrogant, to actually have feeling you are higher than others, and thirdly about greed or gluttony. 2 is actually from the Iblis. 1 is actually from Adam. The greed is from Adam, because Adam alayhi salam, he is actually being tricked by the Iblis. When Iblis saw that Adam was so impressed with the angels. So in Surah Al-A'raf, Allah Ta'ala told us the story that Iblis tricked Adam by saying to Adam, in Surah Al-A'raf, verse number 20, that when Iblis wanted to trick Adam, he said that, Ma nahakuma rabbukuma antilka syajarati, your Lord didn't forbid you from that tree, illa antakuna malakain, except that he don't want you two to be an angels, because the angels are already here. So if you eat from that tree, you become an angels. Aw takuna minal khalidin, or you become from among those who actually everlasting, will not perish at all. So Adam, when look at the angels, it means that the Iblis is looking what is Adam actually become impressed about. So he used that thing to what you say, to deceive Adam. To deceive Adam by saying that if you ate that food, that not fruit, not from the tree, then you become an angel. Because Adam is actually so impressed with the angels. Even though whatever he had, already good. That is called greed. You have already given everything. You want something else. It's greed. The greed have for Adam. But from the side of Iblis, from the start, it's actually because of envy, because of the jealousy or envy that he have towards Adam. And secondly, because of arrogance that he have. Feeling so high. Because he said to Allah, when Allah said, what forbade you from prostrate towards what I created with my own hand? He said, Ana khairum min, I'm better than him. Khalaqtani min nar, you created me from the fire. Wa khalaqtahu min tin, you created him from the soil, from the earth. So he actually comparing the origin to feeling that he's better than Adam. So careful about 3 things. So the topic we're talking about is actually one of the first sin that being done inside the paradise. That's actually enviness or jealousy. I forbid both you and myself from jealousy. Means that the author said that we kept away from ourselves, from he himself, and from us, the jealousy. Because before we can show mercy to others, we must first show it to ourselves. We want to be caring about others, you must care about yourself first. By being jealous of others, we are feeding misery with our flesh and blood, and we are giving our sound sleep to others. You cannot sleep. You're thinking about that person, jealous towards others, and always thinking how to be better than that guy, to have more than that guy. Like I said, the feeling to have more than others is normal for a human being. Like being said in the Surah Al-Imran, verse number 13, just now we recite. It's actually normal to like something of this worldly matter, worldly enjoyment is normal. But the problem is, you should not forget that the provision of everything is given by Allah. Allah is the one that give everything to His creatures, not you yourself. Everything we give by Allah. Then Allah Ta'ala is all wise and all knowing, and everything he do to his creature, or the provision that he give away, is always right, enough for you. It's okay. No, not because I didn't feel itchy, just something there. Okay. The jealous person lights a fire, and then jumps to it. A jealous person is like a person that light a fire, a fire of wood, and suddenly go into that fire. Jealousy begets grief, pain, and suffering. Jealousy will give you grief. You don't feel enjoyment of life. You always think that the thing that you have is not enough. Like I said, what happened for Iblis, the position that he have is actually quite good. Can sit with the angels, can enter and go inside the paradise, like whatever he want. But still he doesn't feel enough. Whatever been given by Allah towards Adam, he feel that he should get that thing, not Adam. But thing that about Iblis is actually toppled up from just a jealousy. Then he wanted that all the blessing that Allah give towards Adam will go away. That's the thing. In Arabic, they have the word hasad. They have the word ribtah. Some of the scholars, they differentiate the word hasad and ribtah. He said that hasad, you want something like the other, you jealous about the others about what they get, and if you don't get it, you hope that the person will lose the thing. That is hasad. Ribtah means that you want something like the other have, but you don't want the goodness that the person have go away. To like have something, actually such as you saw somebody memorizing the hadith, and you want to have that the same capability to do that. So just to have that same feeling, the feeling want to have the same thing, is called ribtah. Ribtah, ghin, ba, ta, ta marbutah. Ribtah. It's okay. And then you work so hard to become like him, to be like him, to have knowledge like him. You struggle, it's okay. But the problem is about if you don't get it, nobody should get it. That is actually something that the word jealousy or enviness is actually become something evil. You want to have whatever other have, it's actually okay. But do you want the other person to lose everything that they have because you don't have it? That is actually the problem. You cannot sleep. You cannot sleep. You cannot eat properly. Every time your thinking is about that person. Why he, not me? I came to Al-Qarni longer than him. Why I don't get? He get. Like somebody when our friend got some perfume from Sheikh. So the other fellow said, why he get? Why I didn't get? I said, when I came here also at first time, Sheikh give me some present. They said because they actually stay here longer, but they didn't get. It's something like talk. It's actually that how you understand the starting of jealousy, because you feel that you should get it, not the other. Something like that. It's actually what being taught. But if you keep on thinking about that, that will eat you from inside. And even actually, because jealousy, being said in the hadith by the Prophet SAW, the Prophet said, al hasadu ta'kulu al-a'mal. The hasad will eat up all your deeds. Your good deeds will be eaten up by the jealousy, as the wood being eaten up by the fire. Because it's not something good for you to continuously have, because it will eat your deeds. Even like we said, your intention of living also will be diverted from to please Allah, to make Allah Ta'ala love you, towards always thinking about that person. You will forget Allah. You will not remember Allah anymore. You will not work to get the rida and the mercy of Allah, but you always thinking about how to compete with the other person. Then your goal of life is actually being diverted towards wrongness, not in the right path anymore. Thus destroying what was once a calm and virtuous life. Whatever the life you have before, you don't think about that, but now you're thinking you didn't get all the things that you get. Sometimes some people thinking about like rich person, they have everything, they can buy everything, anything. But things that the poor person didn't know, that a rich person, a person that have a company, big company, they cannot sleep well actually. They always think about tomorrow what to pay the to pay the workers, to get more project and everything. They thinking, and some of them cannot sleep at night. They have to have a sleeping pill to buy, and sleeping pill is not very cheap. A tablet around 60 ringgit. So a person like that will pay for his sleep 60 ringgit every night. At the same time, a poor person doesn't have that worry, so he can eat well, sleep well. Actually, that's some blessing that Allah Ta'ala gave you, but you didn't think about that. The thing that you get, but that person is actually envy towards you. You envy him because of the life. He can buy anything, but at the same time, some of them cannot eat well. Half cup of rice only, no eggs, no oil, no salt. If you give them salt, khalas, they will fall down, high blood pressure. You give them sugar, oh khalas, also become hyper or hypo because of the sugar, sugar that he have. But let's say the poor person is actually is like that. He can eat and sleep well. But Allah Ta'ala give this blessing, but you didn't think about it carefully. So you always thinking about what you didn't get, but you forget about whatever you have. The thing that you have is actually plentiful for you to being grateful about. But the thing that you didn't get, the thing that actually you're chasing towards somebody, comparing yourself with that person, as long as you didn't get that thing, you are not actually satisfied. But at the same time, if you get the thing that the same that or better than the guy get, after that you have another threshold. You have to have any more desire about that. After that, more desire will come to you. So the thing is actually it is not stop. The thing will not stop. So that's why you have to be careful about that feeling. So here the curse of jealousy, the curse of jealous one is that he contest fate and contended that his creator is unjust. That is the curse. Means that first thing first, he want to go against the fate. We know that we all of us being written predestined about whatever we will face in our life, even our age, how old are we become before we die. You don't know, but being written, all of us have their own ticket. You have your ticket, I have my ticket. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow, the other person also. Everybody have their own ticket to travel to the hereafter, to the end of the world, the life, to go to akhirah. But we don't know when. Also being given for us by Allah the provision. Allah Ta'ala said, the Prophet ﷺ told us about the provision being given by Allah. In the hadith narrated by Ibn Mas'ud anhu, Ibn Mas'ud said, the Prophet ﷺ said, "Inna ahadakum, verily, one of you, every one of you, yujma'u khalquhu, being combined, khalquhu, his creation, means the base of his eyes, his ear, and every part of his body, arba'ina yawma, in 40 days. In 40 days of creation inside the womb of your mother. Actually, after 40 days, all the base for your eyes, for your ear, for your backbone, for your lung, for your heart is actually being created there. Only after that phase, being completed. Within 40 days, all of it is actually there. The butt of your hand. Your hand is actually not like this. At first, when it start to grow, it's actually like a bud. Not B-U-T, B-U-D, but, but tunas. Like that. And a leg also like that. After that, being created to be longer. And after that, your hand will be separated. The fingers will be separated. So, within 40 days, it's actually like this. Your hand is like this before. Then Allah Ta'ala separate it. Become separate. So, within 40 days, all of it is there. So, in that hadith, Ibn Mas'ud said, ثُمَّ يَكُونُ فِي ذَلِكَ عَلَقَةً مِثْلَ ذَلِكَ. The Prophet ﷺ said, and within that 40 days, he's become alaqah. And like that, nothing new. Nothing, no other thing being done to it. And ثُمَّ يَكُونُ فِي ذَلِكَ مُضْغَةً مِثْلَ ذَلِكَ. After that, it become mudghah. And like that. ثُمَّ, after the phase of mudghah, then Allah Ta'ala will send to him, to the embryo, malakan, an angel. فَيَنْفُخُ فِي الرُّوحِ, and the angel will blow into the embryo, the life or the spirit. وَيُؤْمَرُ بِأَرْبَعِ كَلِمَاتٍ, and the angel will be commanded by Allah to write 4 things. بِكَتْبِ رِزْقِهِ, to write off for the embryo, what is his duration. I don't know. What is his provision? First, rizq. Wa ajalihi, duration. How long he will living in this world. Wa amalihi, what is the amal of this guy? Is it the amal to go to the paradise or the amal to go to the hell? Wa shaqiyun am sa'id, and will be he a person will be happy or having all the gift from Allah, or he will be condemned by Allah. Which one is it? It's been written. We actually can ask from Allah to have better life. Means that all this there, your provision is there, your duration of this world is there, your amal. How are you doing your deeds in this world? Is it good deeds or bad deeds? If you're feeling that your deeds is not good, then you can pray to Allah, ask from Allah, may Allah Ta'ala give you a better deeds for you to do. Because we know that the Prophet ﷺ did taught his companion to say after each salah, Allahumma a'inni ala dhikrika wa syukrika wa husni ibadatik. Oh Allah, a'inni, help me, ala dhikrika, to remember you. Help me to remember you. Wa syukrika, and help me to be grateful to you. Wa husni ibadatik, and to help us, to help me being good in worshiping you goodly. Means that all the thing is actually, if you think about it, is being written by the angels, but you still have to ask from Allah, because the thing about changing your faith is actually from dua. The Prophet ﷺ did say that I am the dua, the provision from the supplication of my father Abraham. Ana da'watu abi Ibrahim. Mean that for him to be created, for him to being chosen by Allah as a prophet, starting point is actually from the dua of Abraham. That being said in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse number 129. 129, when Allah Ta'ala said, Abraham and Ishmael, when they are building the Kaabah, they pray, Rabbana, O our Lord, wab'ath fihim, send towards the people of Mecca, this place, Rasulam minhum, a messenger from among them. That is the prayer by Abraham and Ishmael. 129, verse Surah Al-Baqarah. So from that point, the Prophet ﷺ said, I am the supplication of my father Abraham. I am the supplication of my father Abraham. So that if you understand the meaning of that dua, the saying, means that you want something, then do the dua. Supplicate towards your Lord, to Allah. Like when Zakaria, when saw Maryam got something, what did he do? He supplicate. He asked from Allah, The thing that if Allah Ta'ala can give her, Allah Ta'ala can give me. You have to have that attitude. Don't ever have the feeling that if you don't get, then Allah Ta'ala is not just. No, Allah Ta'ala will give you, can give you, but by the way that He wanted it, not by the way you want. So they say here, the curse of the jealous one is that he contests the fates, and contend what is creator, contend that his creator is unjust. This is so wrong, because Allah Ta'ala is the most just. Nobody is more just than Allah. So when Allah Ta'ala didn't give you, He know why. Or He late giving you, then He also know why. Not because the thing is actually unjustly being done. Among people, yes, we can see about sometimes a person, a child, seeing inside his house, the father is actually loving towards the brother more than him. Sometimes you can see that the father always buy for the brother, give for the brothers, not for him. Sometimes we can start to think about that. But you also have to think about that the love that being given to your brother more than you is also being channeled by Allah. Don't say that your father is not just. Yes, he not just. He become unjust because he prefer your brother more than you. But you have to also understand that the love that being thrown inside his heart towards your brother more than you is also being done by Allah. So the same thing, if you want your father heart to turn over and become just to you, you also have to supplicate. Don't just make yourself become angry. No, you know that the heart is actually being turned over by Allah. All the heart of the creature, the servant of Allah, is like one heart being turned over by Allah, however He wanted it. So if you think about that, is that if you feel that your father is not being just to you, or even your government is not being just to you, you have to think about that supplication, because that is the thing that will be correcting or become I would say giving more to you than before, because Allah Ta'ala will change the heart of the person. How like the disease of jealousy, yet unlike other disease. How is actually a disease of jealousy, yet unlike other disease. The one inflicted by it receive no reward from in the hereafter. Like we said, that the jealousy will eat up your deeds. And when you come to the end of the hereafter, maybe you cannot see anything being left for you because being eaten up by the jealousy inside your heart. Because one of the things that actually is so dangerous for you, to think that Allah Ta'ala is unjust, and to say that Allah Ta'ala is actually doesn't you cannot accept whatever Allah Ta'ala have predestined for you. He predestined for you for that, but you don't like it. You can make an effort to be a better person, to have more than what you have, but you have to doesn't have the feeling that you don't like the destiny by Allah, or also the fate that Allah Ta'ala wrote for you. You cannot have that feeling, that hate feeling towards that. You have to know that Allah Ta'ala is most loving. He loves you more than your mother. The Prophet ﷺ did give us that comparison when inside the war, when a woman was searching for her son, and the child is actually crying. The woman took the son and breastfeed the son actually in front of everybody. So the Prophet ﷺ said, do you think that this woman have the capability to throw her son inside a fire if he can't not to do it? So the companion said, no, we cannot think that this woman, so loving towards the child, can throw her child towards inside the fire. Then the Prophet ﷺ said, Allah arhamu bi ibadihi. Allah is most loving, most mercy towards his creation, towards his servant, than the mother, this woman, towards her child. By comparison, Allah is more likely to love you and to have mercy towards you than this woman towards her child. So that's why when a person understand about the love of Allah, the mercy of Allah is bigger than the mercy of a mother towards a child. So when he doesn't give you anything, or he make what you get is so little than other, you should first think about that he is loving you more than others. You cannot say that he's unjust, he doesn't like me. You don't ever think about that. That is actually that, but what the Prophet ﷺ also said. Allah Ta'ala said, Ana inda dhanni abdi bi. I am as what my servant think about me. I am as my servant think about me. Means that if you think that Allah Ta'ala will love you, will give you more, then Allah Ta'ala will be like that. If you have bad impression about Allah, then you also get the bad impression, become a reality that Allah Ta'ala will not love you and everything. That's to be careful towards whatever feeling you have. So when jealousy is one of the danger is actually about faith. Allah Ta'ala make faith. Then when we as a believers, the number 6 of our pillars of belief is wa tu'mina bil qadari. You have to believe in qadar, in predestined, whatever Allah Ta'ala predestined upon you and others. Khairihi wa syarrihi. The bad, the good of it and the bad of it. You don't only love the goodness that came from Allah, but you have to also to be patient about the badness that Allah Ta'ala have predestined for you. The jealous person shall remain in fury until the day he dies. Until the day he dies, he will come to have that anger, hate, and most feeling. They don't have the calmness inside his life until he died, because he also always thinking about the other person, what the others got, he doesn't get. Always thinking about that. Or until the good fortune of others depart from them. Or if the good fortune for the others being depart from them, then he feel calm. He said, Alhamdulillah, the person doesn't get anymore. That's the thing. That because that I said the jealousy or the jealousy that, or the enviness, the problem is about you wanting the goodness that the other had go away. That is the problem. To like whatever good things the other have, you want to have it also. That is not enviness. That the bad type of enviness. Because the Prophet ﷺ said, La hasada illa fisnatain. There's no hasad, permissible jealousy. We say, but like I said, it's not about wanting the thing go away from that person who get that. La hasad illa fisnatan. There's no hasad except in 2 things. First, a man being given by Allah knowledge and he is teaching others goodness. So you want to have that thing also. To have that things also. And a person that been given by Allah wealth and he's distributing his wealth to whatever channel that Allah Ta'ala like. You see these 2 type of person, you want to be like them. The Prophet ﷺ said, yes, you can have that intention to have that the same thing, but not the jealousy of the Prophet used the word jealous. La hasada illa fisnatain. There's no jealousy except in 2 things. But the jealousy that, like you said, is not jealousy that wanting the good thing to go away from that person, from the other person. Because the problem about jealousy like that is actually, but one thing is actually natural for you to want something that the other have. You seeing that the person drink a big tasty drink. You looking at that and you start to think that I want it also. It's okay. But the thing that the Prophet ﷺ really taught us that if you want to have that feeling, wanting what other have, then you have to look into a person that is actually given by Allah knowledge and giving away the knowledge to others and teaching the goodness to others, and a person that been given wealth by Allah and is distributing the wealth to the place that Allah Ta'ala like. That is the feeling you can have. Other than that, it's actually nothing. To think that a person have a beautiful wife, you want to have a beautiful wife. It's actually not really the thing. Because sometimes you see something like that, but you don't understand about the maintenance. You know the maintenance? Don't know. See, every person, they have the how to you please the part. Means that if a person really taking care of their beauty, sometimes their expenses actually so a lot. Even I did actually listen from one of student. He said to me that, Ustaz, what is the ruling about um, steaming your face? I said, you steam the bun, you don't steam your face. Okay, because they actually they have all the routine of beauty, that if you marrying that type of woman, you don't have the expenses to give to her. Sometimes you don't think about that. Sometimes you don't think about that. You just think that, wow, so beautiful, but the expenses you don't know. So, but on the side of knowledge and wealth that being given away, distributed, that's actually the thing that good. There's actually no side effect for you. You know, no side effect. The other thing that you want, a powerful car. Sometimes our friend wants, you say, Lamborghini, but he doesn't know about the only the one tire of Lamborghini, maybe 2 months, 2 months of his expenses, his pay, because the tire is so expensive, and or the road tax also expensive. You don't think the thing is actually come with that burden, not like the knowledge and the wealth is actually to be given away. That's the thing. Other than that, the Prophet ﷺ said, no enviness or no jealousy except in two things. That's why the Prophet say about that two things, because the other thing that you like, the expenses and the burden, will make you suddenly will say that I don't want this anymore. Allahu alam. Okay. Everyone can be reconciled except the jealous one. Everyone, you can reconcile them. You can make them to be better and everything, except the jealous one, because reconciliation with him requires that the blessing of Allah are removed from you, or that you give up your talents and good qualities. Because you cannot make peace with them. They will not be calm except whatever you get from Allah being removed, or you stop from doing things that you are doing. The talent that you have, they don't like it because they cannot do it, so nobody should do it. So that is only the peace will come into their heart. Other than that, they will not actually accept from you. They will always feel something inside their heart towards you. So no reconciliation with them. If you were to do this, then perhaps he would become happy despite himself. If you like to let go everything, maybe he will like you, because he doesn't get, you should not get also. We see refuge with Allah in Allah from the evil of jealous one. A person who become like a black poisonous snake. Yeah? A person who become like a black poisonous snake, finding no repose until it releases its venom into an innocent body. Yeah, until he can get two of the things. Either you you don't get it anymore, or he get something better than you. Then only he will become calm. Like a venomous snake that will always try to put away his venom to others. So that's why we said about Satan, or no, the name Satan, or the Iblis. The Iblis is actually the first sin that he done inside the paradise is enviness or jealousy, jealous towards Adam. And secondly is arrogantness. And thirdly, what Adam did is actually greed that came from Adam. So the first one is actually about the envy. This is the first sin inside the paradise. So stay away from jealousy and seek refuge in Allah from jealous person, because he is constantly watching you, always looking towards you, and actually wanted you to lose that thing that you get from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, I think that is enough. Maybe we can start with Q&A. Give my.
Assalamualaikum Ustaz.
Assalamualaikum.
I have a question about kurban.
Hmm.
Because the kurban is coming this Sunday, am I right?
Hmm.
Okay, so the first question is why we cannot cut our nails and hair if we do the kurban?
Okay, it has really been mentioned by the Prophet SAW in the hadith narrated by Muslim. The Prophet said, when the month of Dhul Hijjah come onto you, and a person among you want to do the korban, to do the udhiyah, then he should not take anything of his hair or his fingernail. That is actually an adab. Is an adab. You are not actually being forbidden with the things that been forbid by those who do hajj. Those who do hajj, when they wear the ihram, starting today, actually many people are already inside Makkah, starting to waiting for the Thursday to go to Mina, and for the Jum'ah to do the wukuf in Arafah. So they will wear their two garments for the men and will not cut anything from their body. That is actually for them, and cannot wear perfume, cannot wear anything to cover their head. For women, the only thing being forbid is actually not to wear glove and to wear niqab. Other than that, it's actually from and other things like um, to have intimacy with the husband is forbid. No perfume also. But other than that, it's actually the woman from the clothing, only that thing. For the man, to have to take everything, stitch from his body, no underwear, no everything, just to garment. So for them, they cannot take anything from their body, being said by Allah Ta'ala in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse number 196. Allah Ta'ala said, وَأَتِمُّ الْحَجَّ وَالْأُمْرَةَ لِلَّهِ. Complete your ihram for in Hajj and Umrah for Allah. فَإِنْ أُحْسِرْتُمْ, if you being stopped by anybody, فَمَسْتَيْسَرَ مِنَ الْهَدْيِ, you have to pay ransom or bounty, that is to slaughter an animal, because you cannot completed it. Anyway, Allah say after that, وَلَا تَحْلِقُوا رُؤُوسَكُمْ حَتَّى يَبْلُغَ الْهَدْيُ مَحِلَّهُ. Don't you shave your head until your slaughtered animal came into being slaughtered at the day of the Eid. So they have those who actually doing Hajj is having not only cutting hair and nail. For them, they are more. For us who actually not doing Hajj, not in Ihram, we can do all of things except the adab, the manners, that you be like them. You know, from the first Zulhijjah until the 9th of Zulhijjah, until your animal being slaughtered, you have to taking care of not to take your nails and hair only. That is a manners. And some of the scholars say that on the day of your animal being slaughtered, if you shave your head or cut your hair or cut your nail, then your sin will also be put away along with your hair or your nail on that day. Same like when being given towards those who do Hajj, because the Prophet being supplicate to Allah, Allah maghfir lil muhalliqin. Oh Allah, forgive those who shave their head, and those who actually cutting their head, their hair, said walil muqassirin, and for those who only cut their hair, the Prophet didn't answer them. The Prophet supplicate the second time, Allah maghfir lil muhalliqin. Oh Allah, forgive those who actually shave their head. And those people still continuously saying, oh Prophet Allah, walil muqassirin, those who cut also pray for them. The Prophet still doesn't answer until the third one. The Prophet says, Allahumma fil muhalliqin walil muqassirin. Oh Allah, forgive for those who shave their head after the slaughtered animal, shave your head, and also for those who only cut their hair. So means that the goodness that we hope from doing that on the day of our animal being slaughtered, after that you cut your nail and you cut your hair or you shave your hair, then Allah Ta'ala will forgive you, like being prayed by the Prophet for them. Okay.
Hello, I have another question, Ustaz.
Yeah, now.
What if I put my name on the kurban list, but I'm not paying for it? Someone else sponsor me. So is it I will get the same amount of rewards, or
Yes, actually, the Prophet SAW, on the day of Eid, in his time, when there is distribution for the companion will be distributed to them the slaughtered goat. At that time, they will get a goat for them to slaughter on the day of the Eid. So the Prophet is giving them. They are not paying, but been given to them, and they actually got that goat or the sheep, and then they slaughter on their name, not by the name of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So been given to them. It's normal, a normal tradition by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to give away the sheep for kurban, for udhiyah, for sacrifice on the day to the companion, to distribute to the companion. It happened that distribution being done, one of the companion doesn't, after he give away, the sheep that left for him is actually lesser age. It's not the same age being given, because if you have a sheep, then it's enough for the sheep to pass 6 months. 6 months is actually you can slaughter it. But normal sheep you have to more than 1 year. Less than 1 year is not permissible. For cow, 2 years. 2 years of age, then is accepted by Allah. For camel, 5 years. 5 years old camel. You can only sacrifice 5 years old camel, or complete 2 years old cow, or 1 year goat. But sheep, 6 months after that you can already slaughter. But the Sahaba got an animal is lesser than the permissible age. Then the Prophet said, you is accepted for you, but not for others, because when the distribution being done, so the sheep or the goat being distributed at that time, it being given by the Prophet for them, so they didn't bought it, but the Prophet give them, so they slaughter on the day of Eid, sacrifice it on their behalf. So it's enough, it's on normal for you. Okay. Any question? Any more?
Assalamualaikum Ustaz.
Assalamualaikum.
So there are many things that I believe makes us sad, and one of those things are ego. Okay, so with the increase in knowledge, most of the time it will increase the ego as well, right? Ustaz? So what can we do to suppress such ego within ourselves and the ego within others with knowledge? Let's say, for example, my parents, sometimes I would like to advise them, but being parents, they would say, I've lived longer than you, So how do we suppress such egos within ourselves and within others?
Okay. First thing first, an ego inside a person, arrogantness inside a person, will only come whenever the person have anything more than other, like knowledge or wealth, or big house or anything. That you went to the highway, you can see that anybody that actually have a more expensive car will always like to flash out their light. Let's say that I am more, actually I have a more expensive car than you, then go away. Some of the attitudes actually come from the thing that we get. That is true, that when a person given by Allah many knowledge or become actually distinguished than others in the knowledge, shaitan will come to the person and start to whisper bad things. And among the things actually to make the person become arrogant and not to accept in others. The Prophet SAW did say about when arrogantness or the ego being said by the Prophet. The Prophet said, "La yadkhul jannah man kana fi qalbihi mithqala dharratin min kibr." Will not enter the paradise whoever inside his heart just a speck of arrogantness or a speck of we say ego. So one of the companion of the Prophet ﷺ said to him that a person like to have his clothes beautiful and also his shoe beautiful. Like you like it, even though that doesn't give you anything. Your clothes is your clothes, but when you wear something good, you have that happy feeling. Is that ego? The Prophet ﷺ said, "Inna Allah jamilun wa yuhibbul jamal." Allah Ta'ala is actually beautiful and He like anything beauty. But the arrogantness or the ego is batarul haqqi. Batarul haqqi, a person that contest al-haq, truth. Something truth, you don't need to accept it. That is an ego. Wa ghamtun nasi, and looking down toward others. So that feeling, because like you said, something you have. So to avoid the ego, you have to know that your knowledge that Allah Ta'ala give you is actually everything from Him. You cannot say that I wake up, I memorize, I took my time. People is actually going other place, but I will go and learn. So that's why I think I'm better than others. No, actually Allah Ta'ala is giving everything to you. You have to know that whatever you get is actually from Allah. It's not you yourself, because anything you get like memorization or knowledge, because you have the time, you have the capability. If Allah Ta'ala make your mind is so weak like a goldfish, you remember something after a few seconds, what? So this actually being given by Allah. Allah gave you also the time. If Allah Ta'ala make you a person that is actually so busy, you cannot come and learn. You cannot come and learn anything because Allah Ta'ala make you so busy to think about other thing. You don't think about knowledge. So the thing is actually complicate yourself. And also if you have to work for your life, for your expenses, then you don't have time to learn. So it means that everything, and the other side, you have the teacher to teach you. If the teacher doesn't teach you and doesn't give you knowledge, you cannot get anything. That is the thing that you have to know. Anything you get, all of it is actually from Allah. Because the connection is not just you and the knowledge, but you and your teacher, you and your friend, the traffic jam, the everything, the weather, the health that you have. If you always feel sick, how can you learn? So be really careful to think about that everything you get is actually not by yourself only, but Allah Ta'ala bestow upon you from the surrounding, the people with you, the people who advise you. That is the thing that Allah Ta'ala provide for you until you have that knowledge. So a person that thinking, they know the reality that everything he have is actually from Allah, cannot be arrogant, cannot have an ego, because they know that Allah Ta'ala can take it away from him. Like that's actually a real thing. Like right now, we have a relationship, a teacher and a student. So the student always will come and respect this teacher, because the teacher is actually taught them everything. And so they like to come and know, listen to more knowledge. But the problem is, if only Allah Ta'ala take away the teacher's capability of talking, cannot speak anymore, can happen. And it actually happened before from one of the ustaz that I know. Allah Ta'ala make him Actually, he being tested by Allah with a stroke, cannot move. So the student will come to his house, pity to him, first month, second month, third month, and after a year, nobody will remember him anymore. Because whatever you have is actually from Allah. Allah Ta'ala can take it from you anytime He want. The position. Sometimes the person got the respect because of position. Like he's inspector in police force. People will respect. But once Allah Ta'ala make him retire, nobody will look at him. I saw this in front of my eyes. When a person, when he was a policeman, every in-laws in his village is actually respecting him. When he came, oh abang come sit. Everybody will stand up for him. When he was a working policeman, but after he retired, I can see that his brother-in-law said, banga, whatever, reading the newspaper and not respecting anymore. So the respect you have, the knowledge you have, everything you have is actually from Allah. وَمَا بِكُم مِّن نِعْمَةٍ فَمِنَ اللَّهِ. Is actually in the ayah. Okay. Surah Al-Nahl, the surah of B. Surah Al-Nahl, verse number 53. Verse number 53. Allah Ta'ala said, وَمَا بِكُم مِّن نِعْمَةٍ. Whatever you have from the blessing, is actually فَمِنَ اللَّهِ. Is actually from Allah. Whatever you get, the knowledge, the health, the people around you, that is actually you cannot defy that. Think about it, and you understand. And secondly, when you talk to your parent, this is the second part. When you want to advise the elders, you should really be careful about that. Because even though you start to have many knowledge, you learn about the deen, you want to advise them, you should think about the parent is not your brother, not the level of your brother. They still have the higher position. You have still to respect them. You can say to your brother, don't you learn this at your school? You can say that to them, but you cannot say something like that to your parent. Because Allah said in the Quran about respecting the parent, even though they actually teaching you towards something that is not good, but you have to still to make friend with them with good terms. In Surah Luqman, verse number 15. وَإِنْ جَاهَدَاكَ عَلَىٰ أَن تُشْرِكَ بِي. And if they, your parent, try to force you to make associate with me, whatever you don't have knowledge about it, فَلَا تُطِعْهُمَا. Don't obey them. But at the same time, وَصَاحِبُهُمَا فِي الدُّنْيَا مَعْرُوفًا. But be friend with them in this world goodly, not by rude terms. No. Surah Al-Luqman, verse number 15. Luqman, verse number 15. So be careful because of that. Because sometimes you have to know that the elders, yes, but you can say that I ate the salt before you. It's actually the terms of the Malay. Saya makan garam lebih awal dari awak. In the Malay terms, I eat salt actually earlier than you. But my friend, one of my friend, he actually have a problem about obeying, or like to debate. He said to his father, yes, you ate your the salt earlier than me, but your salt is not salty enough. Mine is more salty. Then that's why you don't understand. He said something like that. But this guy is actually quite rude because he went to Qom, Iran, to learn religion from there. So he have that type of rudeness. So actually from that point, yes, you have your knowledge, but you cannot ever talk to a parent rudely, even though they are teaching you to do to do bad thing towards Allah. Like being said in that Surah Luqman, you have always to be careful about talking to them. The same happened to those who have a husband. Woman, because Allah Ta'ala said in the Quran, وَلِلْجَارِ عَلَيْهِنَّ darajah. And for the man, upon the woman, they have one darjah. The one darjah, the one rank that Allah Ta'ala give is you cannot talk to your husband like that, like you're talking to your brother, younger brother. What? You cannot say something like that. Like the same you cannot say to your parent, even though they are wrong. But in talking to them, you have to be careful. Maybe they said that I'm may have experienced more than you. Yes, it's true. And then even though the thing actually they're thinking about it is wrong, like being said by the father of Abraham. His father was worshipping the stone, carve the stone and worshipping it. But the way Abraham talked to his father, ya abati, ya abati. Actually, he said in Surah uh, uh, tak budi syaitan. Surah Al-Maryam. Surah Al-Maryam. You can decide about it from verse number 41 until verse number 48. Oh, 48. 48. So in that ayah, you can see that Abraham is talking nicely with his father. Oh, my father. Oh, my loving father. Why do you worship shaitan? Oh, my father. Oh, loving father. He always use the same phrase. Not that, hey, you. In Arabic, if you want to talk to elders, you cannot use the pronoun of single. Singular pronoun is cannot be used. You have to say, like I say to this my teacher, I will say, ya Sheikh, antum. I don't say anta. You don't say anta. You say antum. Hal dhabtum. Hal akaltum. Did you eat? You have to use plural, even though he is a person. That's the way to talk. Only that in English, I don't see something like that. Especially when the husband and wife talking. Hey, you. Something that's actually in Arabic, there's no such thing. In Malay also, they use that. But in English, in our community, especially when they took English as their language in their house, this the thing that is actually to be careful about. To say to your father, you, father, do you want the word do you want in normal talking in English is okay, but in Arabic it cannot. In Malay also, he say, father, do you want? Awak nak? Abah, awak nak? But in Javanese people, they say something like that. Mak, aku nak pergi. I went to a house of my friend. He was talking to his mother. But he used aku. Aku nak pergi ni. Mak nak. That's actually the thing that normal for them. But be careful about talking to the elders. That the Prophet said, Laisa minna, there's not from among us, malam yuakir kabirana, whoever doesn't respect our elder. Walam yarham saghirana, and doesn't have mercy toward our youngsters. This is not from our group. The Prophet said. Okay, alhamdulillah. Anything else? Okay. Anything else? Okay, alhamdulillah. We stop here. May Allah Ta'ala make whatever we learn today beneficial for me and for you. And may Allah Ta'ala teach us anything that benefit us and make us to do whatever we learn, not only just for learning. Wallahu a'lam. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammadin salam alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. So alhamdulillah anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.